It's got the makings of a great science fiction story, pregnant with the intrigue of global business. But Northerners are used to seeing their natural resources powering the world economy. So it's been with gold, diamond, lead, zinc, uranium, and oil. Now the sleeping giant in a 30-year-old exploration project may be waking up. Lee Selleck reports.
Chris Peterson loves Thor Lake and drinks its water, untreated.
We have the best water in the world right here.
And in 30 years, the senior geologist for Avalon Rare Metals has sipped plenty of it. But he's also looked at 50 kilometers of drill core from the rock underlying this area near Great Slave Lake, 100 kilometers east of Yellowknife.
Well, Fergusonite is just one of the, it's a very rare mineral, and it's never been found in any concentrations before until Thor Lake. And Fergusonite is one of those minerals which has exactly the ratios of heavy rare earths and yttrium that makes a metallurgist's dream come true. They had all the right proportions there. I mean, it's just the Cadillac of heavy rare earth minerals.
Also in these rocks, such exotic stuff as europium, terbium, neodymium, tantalum, zirconium. 15 men in a tent camp drilling for metals needed for flat-screen TVs, wind turbines, solar panels, iPods, computers, high-tech batteries, and yes, cars, especially hybrid and electric cars such as this Toyota Prius.
There's a lot of rare earths in one of these cars. It adds up to about 30 kilos in total. In Japan is the second largest consumer of rare earths in the world after China, and they're totally reliant on China right now for that source of supply. And they're not that comfortable with it. Without that supply of rare earth elements, Toyota can't make its cars, Honda can't make cars, Panasonic can't make TVs, so they're pretty concerned.
China has cornered about 95% of the world market for rare earth metals, and the United States government is worried too, for both its military technology and the larger economy.
They listed 11 materials which would shut down the U.S. economy if their supply were interrupted. The second item on that list was the rare earth metals. I'm having lunch on the 28th with the battery development manager and strategic metal manager for the Ford Motor Company. And I'm going to tell him, you better get up there, because when I got off the plane, I saw a Japanese guy with a phrase book, okay? And I'm serious.
In fact, last week 3 Japanese government geologists visited Chris Peterson's domain.
The mapped area, looking right, I mean, all of Thor Lake is underlain by the lake zone. The land on the other side of Thor Lake, down to Long Lake, is all the lake zone. So we're looking at 1.5 kilometers by 1.5 kilometers, but we know that it extends beyond those boundaries. So we don't know how big it is. We only know what the minimum size is, and it's pretty big.
Thor Lake gets going, there's no shortage of ore there. It could be a consumer of power for 100 years out there, and be a long-term customer for that power.
Bubar sees an underground mine with a workforce of about 200 and says he's committed to partnerships with Aboriginal communities nearby. But in today's world, natural resources often drive other local business. Here in the Northwest Territories, that could be anything from ore processing to battery making. Big dreams and big risks ahead for a little company with a humble camp on the back of a sleeping giant. Lee Selleck, CBC News, Thor Lake.